So, y'all, I'm parked outside of a Love's up in Hagerstown, waiting on this load to get ready. Figured I would come hang out here for a little while, but I made a couple posts on Instagram about what's going on with Nick Cannon, and it seems that a lot of people confused. So I'm going to go back here and explain my stance on Nick Cannon, because I was going to leave it at post, but you know, niggas be acting slow. So I'm going to come in here and give my opinion about what's going on with Nick Cannon. But I have to preface it with saying that I already don't fuck with Nick Cannon, okay? I already done ran down on Nick Cannon about his coon-ass comments he made whenever he did a show with Reza Islam, about his ideas as to how to end racism, which wasn't nothing but cave hole worship. That's all he went on there and did. His idea for ending racism is to have children with white hoes. That was his idea. Okay? Take the white man's mama, as racist as she is, as racist as she's been, and have children with her. This is how you cure racism. That's what he said. Now, they done caught him slipping out here. Where something he said when he was speaking to a Professor Griff. I'm going to play a little bit of that clip here. As you can see, the headline reads, "White people are upset at Nick Cannon following resurfaced interview where he refers to them as savages and animals." And he responded to the backlash on Facebook. We're going to get to the backlash and his apology. We're going to get to that coon ass shit too. But let me play y'all the clip of what these caves is mad about.
The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight, okay,
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough, torrential environments.
Okay.
So they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up such this I don't want to say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality.
Okay. So that's why the caves is mad, right? Right. Now, understand that the caves is mad. He didn't even really go in on them heavy. He spoke about their history. He spoke about their history. He didn't say anything. I mean, I watched a little bit. There are more clips out here. I mean, he didn't say anything. He referred to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing as to them being scared of genetic annihilation. And, you know, he didn't really go hard on them like that. He didn't even go hard on them like that. White folk was mad. What he should have told them, cave motherfuckers, was fuck you. Go read your history and then come try to disprove me and then come try to discredit me by reading your own history. But Nick Cannon ain't got the heart for that type of shit. Instead, he issues an apology. I'll read out the apology here. Says, "Anyone who knows me knows that I have no hate in my heart nor malice intentions. I do not condone hate speech nor the spread of hateful rhetoric. We are living in a time when it is more important than ever to promote unity and understanding. The black and Jewish communities have both faced enormous hatred, oppression, persecution, and prejudice for thousands of years. In many ways have and will continue to work together to overcome these obstacles." What is he talking about? This is the type of shit that I be talking about. Like, whenever you have a white audience to please, whenever you have a quote-unquote Jewish audience to please, you are going to be compromised because you have to say silly ass shit. We both faced enormous hatred. No struggle, nothing that black people worldwide have went through is in comparison to anybody else. Period. That's just what it is to it. Like, there's nothing else to this shit. Like, Jewish people are just the caves. Okay? I get tired of people acting like Jewish is different than white. It's not. They're white folk. The caves that classify themselves as Jews or Jewish. This is a religion. This is not a race. Okay? It's like somebody saying, I'm not white, I'm Italian. Or like a black person saying, I'm not black, I'm an alpha. You know, black folk got these fraternities and shit. No, those are just groups of black people. You got your alphas, sigmas, omegas. Now, these are some coon ass motherfuckers because they pledge in Greek. But that's like them saying, well, no, I ain't no black. I ain't black. I'm an alpha. Or I ain't black, I'm a Christian. These are not races. The caves, they just call themselves Jewish sometimes and change their last name. Something ski or something. They'll do some shit like that. It's not deep. Okay? We make it deep. It's not deep. The black and Jewish communities, no. Ain't no both, no. Ain't no with them, we together, no. There is no, we'll continue to work together when. Ain't no Jewish caves working with black people to overcome anything. But I'll continue. It says, when you look at the media and other sectors in our nation's history, African Americans and the people of the Jewish community have partnered to create some of the best, most revolutionary work we know today. Look what he has to do. He has to act like the Jewish people done had black folks back. That's not the case. If the claim is that the Jews run Hollywood, how are black people depicted in Hollywood? How many black people have you heard complaining about not getting the same type of pay as their white counterparts? What is it? What world is he creating in this apology? I am an advocate for people's voices to be heard openly, fairly, and candidly in today's conversations about anti-racism and social justice. I think we all, including myself, must continue educating one another and embrace uncomfortable conversations. It's the only way we all get better. I encourage more healthy dialogue and welcome any experts, clergy, or spokespersons to any of my platforms to hold me accountable and correct me in any statement that I've made that has been projected as negative. Until then, I hold myself accountable for this moment and take full responsibility, because my intentions are only to show this beautiful human species that we may have more commonalities than differences. So embrace those as well as each other. We all family. That's not true that we all family, but I do respect the last part where he says, I encourage more healthy dialogue and welcome any experts, clergy, or spokespersons on any of my platforms to hold me accountable and correct me in any statements, because he didn't say shit wrong. That's all I would have said. I wouldn't have done the fake ass shit he did at the beginning, talking about the Jewish and black communities together. Black been by ourselves the whole fucking time. We out here by ourselves. I would have only issued a challenge to anybody who has an issue with what I'm saying to come correct me. Tell me how you live then. Explain to me what the Dark Ages is then. Caves. Tell me what the fuck, what happened? Where you come from? Don't you depict yourself as cavemen and cave women? This is you. You depict yourself as that. What you mad for? But see, you can't stand firm like that when you have caves to keep happy. When you have to promote this, I'm for everybody, I'm with everybody. No. I'm going to tell the motherfucking truth, and if you got a problem with it, it just is what it is. Now, here's what happened. Viacom, here's what they did. They said, okay, motherfucker. Here's what Viacom did. They issued a statement about Nick Cannon. Says Viacom condemns bigotry of any kind, and we categorically denounce Let me start over because I'm trying to rush through this shit, really. Viacom CBS condemns bigotry of any kind, and we categorically denounce all forms of anti-Semitism. This is the anti-Jews rhetoric. We understand if you say something about the Jews, the so-called Jews, they're going to have a problem with that. We have spoken with Nick Cannon about the episode of his podcast, Cannon Class, on YouTube, which promoted hateful speech and spread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. This is trash. While we support ongoing education and dialogue in the fight against bigotry, that's a lie. We are deeply troubled that Nick Cannon has failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism. And we are terminating our relationship with him. We are committed to doing a better in our response to incidents of anti-Semitism, racism, and bigotry. Viacom will have further announcements on our efforts to combat hate of all kinds. Now, basically, Viacom said we gotta get him the fuck up out of here. He talking about the Jews. He's sitting here talking about white folk like this, telling the truth about their history. We gotta get him the fuck up out of here, right? Now, black people are saying, well, they stand with Nick Cannon. They stand with Nick. I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is motherfuckers expecting me to also stand with Nick. I'm not the type of person that's going to have somebody in his situation working for Viacom, promoting negative images of black people on his shows, the Wild and Out. I think it's just a coon jester show. I mean, black people get on there and they just coon it up. They coon it up for laughs. They are the jesters of society. A bunch of coon comedy. Right? I don't have to stand with Nick. He's a multi-millionaire. He can stand for himself. He was the one who signed up to be with these racist ass organizations. And if they fired him for this, I wouldn't see him losing no sleep over it. I mean, so what? He's a multi-millionaire. He'll be okay. There are other rich black people that could come together and create their own platforms. It's going to be okay. Fuck Viacom. It's been fuck Viacom, though. It's like, people now like a boycott. I thought we already did that. I thought we been did that. Now people want to re-boycott them. Niggas ain't going to do it. Because the fake cancel culture is kind of trash. But, I thought we was already at this point with Viacom a while back. When they got hope to BET and turned it out. Negative black images all over the screen. That's all they're wanting to show. I thought we been did that work. But okay, if you want to redo it, that's fine. Re-boycott them. Re-cancel them. Do whatever y'all have to do. But I'm not going to sit here and have Nick Cannon come out here and coon and coon like a motherfucker when he with RZA and talking about how to end racism is fucking white hoes. Then say the white hoes is the real savages and the closest to animals than black people are. But then, you said that you want to just fuck these hoes, come in these hoes and have kids with these hoes. And that's how we going to end racism. These savages that you refer to. I can't allow somebody to come in here and speak out of both sides of their mouth. And then with that type of apology that you make, which is really treasonous if you ask me, I'm not coming to cape for Nick Cannon. Not what's going on out here. Now again, there was some black people that was confused, like how y'all just gonna not be supporting him? He black. We supposed to come together regardless. Listen, if something had happened to Nick Cannon, let's say he was murdered under suspicious, shit or something like that, then I'd be all in. Or the cops that killed brother Nick Cannon on camera, I'd be all in. But all he did was lose his whatever contract he had with Viacom. That's not the end of the world. At all. He can't be my spokesman because he's into pleasing all people. I'm not into pleasing all people. I'm not into pleasing anybody. So I'm not going to make him my spokesperson. I don't even know how he going to do Dr. Sebi shit. I mean, I know he was talking about picking that up. He was supposed to be doing that. I don't even know.
The only way
I didn't mean to play that. I don't even know how he's going to do that. Because if you can't stand up for yourself and your truth that you're telling on your YouTube channel without apologizing and talking about Jewish and black communities together, how the fuck you gonna stand up to Big Farm? Because you're gonna have to expose Big Farm to talk about Dr. Sebi. How you gonna do that? How you gonna be the person to do this work if you can't even stand up for your fucking self on your YouTube channel and you didn't tell no lies? Because you're going to have to stand up to Big Farm to deal with Dr. Sebi's story. Because it's in there. You would have no choice but to cover Big Farm to deal with Dr. Sebi's story. And if you can't even tell the truth about racism and the Caucasus Mountains and where these motherfuckers came from and stand on that truth, how are you going to tell the truth about Dr. Sebi? I don't see how he gets it done. I don't see how it happens. Now, Nick Cannon hasn't been the cooniest coon of all coons. No, he hasn't been. But I don't pardon cooning. That's not my thing. I know some of y'all have y'all's favorites, and y'all can protect y'all favorites, and I stand with Nick. I'm seeing everybody talk about that motherfucker. You stand for what? Recanceling Viacom? Nick is a multi-millionaire. He will be okay. Ain't no standing for him. They didn't lock him up. They ended their contract with him. And he has enough money to go out and do his own thing. He could turn his YouTube into a huge platform. I don't know whether YouTube blocked the video or deleted the video. I don't know the ins and outs of YouTube, but I'll tell black people this. The more that we come out here, and I done said this before, but don't nobody want to fucking listen to this. The more we come out here and try to control what the cave's talking about and how they say it, the more that the things that we say and the things that we're talking about, the more it's going to be viewed as hate speech, the more they're going to try to control it. I done told y'all, I don't give a fuck about the KKK, what they talking about, what they wearing, their flags. I don't care about any of that, because once you start forcing them into a position where they got to put all their shit down, what's going to happen is you wearing, say, a Malcolm X t-shirt, that's going to be viewed as hateful. But since you calling for the oppression of somebody else's free speech, they're going to call for your further oppression on your free speech. That's what's going to happen. That's why I'm not with y'all when y'all wanting to sit around and tell white folk what they can and cannot say, how racist they can or cannot be. I don't give a fuck. That's their right. That's their freedom. And it is my motherfucking freedom to tell the truth and not give a fuck about them. Once you start trying to force and control what people are saying, you're going to run into a slippery motherfucking slope. Because now people going to say, well, yeah, we're against all forms of racism. And what you saying about white folk is racist, even if it's true. That's what the situation y'all going to run into. And you're going to be further censored. Because every truth that you tell, every ugly truth that you tell, will be looked at as racist. And if they're going to be out here, canceling and firing white folk for being quote unquote racist, they're going to be canceling and firing your ass for being quote unquote racist too. Because they classify these things as the same. A white person calling you a nigger to these corporations, it will be the same as you calling them a savage. And that's the climate that y'all creating. Because y'all care about what these motherfuckers talking about. Y'all want to get them fired from their jobs, and that's a win to y'all. Well, it's going to come back on you, black people. It's going to. Because y'all don't know how to just let these motherfuckers say whatever the fuck they got to say and breeze over and not give a fuck. So now what these companies going to do is say, okay, well, we going to fire them, but as soon as you open your motherfucking mouth about anything, we going to fire your motherfucking ass too. And they was already censoring black folk from telling the truth. That was already happening. Especially, we talking about YouTube and shit like that. They was already doing that. So understand the climate you creating. Because you sit around crying about everything you hear that some caves say that's racist. Who the fuck cares? Not me. I guess I'll say not me. I can't say who the fuck cares. I know most people do. But I mean, who the fuck cares? Let them... Freedom of speech. It's a real freedom. Well, supposedly. Let them say whatever the fuck they're gonna say. They don't have to love you. The more concerning part is not what they're saying, but the policies that they're implementing against you. That should be your focus. Not getting some State Farm worker fired because they went on some racist rant on a Facebook. Who cares? Who cares? Long as when you call the motherfuckers with your claim, they send the people out. I could give a fuck less what these motherfuckers talking about. Because this shit gonna backfire on y'all black folk. It's gonna backfire on us. And we already couldn't say shit. We really not gonna be able to say shit now. That's what's happening. When they said we stand against all forms of racism and anti-Semitism, and they just basically saying, well, motherfucker, this is what y'all asked us for, right? Y'all told us to be against racist. Okay, well, I'm gonna be against your motherfucking ass, your racism too. So black people, be careful of these little symbolic, stupid ass victories that you're taking. The happiness that you feel because some video of some cave asshole saying nigger and she gets fired from her job. Be mindful of that. Because you don't have to call white people no slur. You don't have to do that. You can just tell the truth about white people, and that's viewed as racism. That falls under the umbrella of racism to these motherfuckers. So be mindful of that. But Nick Cannon gonna be all right. Until Nick Cannon put both his feet down on the side he's supposed to be on, which is pro-black liberation, then I don't have to support him. I don't support him. I don't support fence straddlers. I don't support apologists. I don't support that shit. That's not saying that you can't support it, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna support it. You were working with Viacom and you knew that them motherfuckers didn't have anything but negative images of black people to show anyway. So what did he really lose if he's really about that life? He was working for them knowing that already. Knowing what you have to do to be successful on these platforms, he was working for them. Cooning for capital. And many black people are okay with that. Too many. This is why we're in this, a lot of the positions that we're in, this is why we're here. Too many of us find it logical to coon for capital. For money. For certain privileges. Nick Cannon knew who Viacom was, knew who Viacom is, never came out and exposed him for their racism. Got on his show, talked about how he want to lay up in white bitches to end racism, and then turn around and call them savages and animals. Well, he really just said they had to act like, conduct themselves like, but I mean, either way. You can see how of a conflicting message that is. And I don't do conflicting message. I ain't wishing no harm on this brother, but he's a millionaire, and thus I think he'll be okay. We are living in an era where if you got the people, you got some money, you can start your own motherfucking show. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do as far as that particular avenue is concerned. There's enough black people in Hollywood to, they could pick them up and pull their money together and do whatever. Like, I'm not about to feel sorry for him, and I'm not about to be on no hashtag I stand with Nick. The only hashtag I'm supporting is B123, which means I stand against the caves. That's what we do. We stand against the caves and we call these motherfuckers out and we don't apologize after we do it. That's not what we do. We not sorry. We not acting like Jewish people stand with us or we the same. We go through the same oppression. Hell no. The Jewish people done got motherfucking reparations 2 times. They not like us. They not the same as us. They didn't go through the same shit we've been through. And I'll be damned. I can only support those that are talking like I'm talking, unapologetically. I can't tell you who to support, but you're not about to convince me that hashtag I stand with Nick or I stand with Nick Cannon actually means something. It means absolutely nothing. The only part of this I can support is being honest about what the caves are, what they've been, and how they exist in this reality. I can support him saying what he's saying, but I'm not supporting him because Viacom fired his ass. No, I won't do that. He's a multimillionaire. He'll be okay. And he's clearly for everybody. We can't deal with black folk that's for everybody. And y'all may not have hard lines like that, but I do. And any type of coon that believes fucking white hoes is the key to black salvation and black liberation is trash. And he hasn't corrected that mentality. And like he's like, man, yeah, I see how fucking stupid I was for saying that shit. No, but he apologized like a motherfucker to the Jews. But you don't apologize for basically saying that you're down for genetic annihilation to end racism laying up in the caves, laying up in these white hoes' pussy. You didn't apologize to black folk for saying that shit. Nah, I'm good, y'all. Y'all can support Nick Cannon. Do what you gotta do. But I ain't got time. And you need to be asking yourself how you gonna do Dr. Sebi. Because I don't think he's gonna be able to do it right. If he's sorry, you know, for telling the truth. And fuck Viacom. But it's been fuck Viacom. I mean, there's really nothing new going on here. Y'all supposed to been there. Y'all just don't really stand on the shit y'all be talking about. And get mad at me because I actually do. That's the problem y'all have with me, is because I actually do stand on the shit that I'm talking about. It's fuck all these celebrity motherfuckers. Because they are fence straddlers. That's what they are. When they are running against a threat of losing some contract or some shit like that, these motherfuckers break weak and got millions in the bank. Motherfucker, how long do you gotta coon before you okay? Before you can break free? Before you can speak for your motherfucking self? How long you gotta coon? And y'all black folk okay with that shit? Not me. But that's all the fuck I wanted to say. Y'all comment if you need to comment. This may have been a little lengthy, but I want to cover this thing in full because I'm not going to say shit else about it. I'm not saying anything else about it. This is all I have to say right here. So y'all comment, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Links to follow me on social media in the description box. Black first, second, and third. And Nick Cannon don't get to be a fence straddler and get my support over being fired. I mean, that ain't it. Ain't nothing harmful happened to him. This wasn't no racist act by no cops where his life ended. Nick Cannon will be okay. Y'all can't be over dramatic about this shit. It ain't that deep. Viacom been racist. Fuck him. Nick Cannon should have been spinned off from them, but he was too busy doing Wild 'N Out. And on there showing black people as fucking jester ass coons. That's what he been doing. I mean, it just is what it is. And we don't support that fence straddling ass bullshit over here. Shout out Team Rob, y'all already know what the fuck it is. I'm out.